Welcome back to our final video. Throughout these last three videos, we have analysed and evaluated the effect that autonomous vehicles will have on sustainable development.
So, from an environmental perspective, we think that autonomous vehicles will be a positive for sustainable development. Fewer emissions from vehicles due to platooning, less congestion and more efficient routes will help us reach the sustainable development goal of reducing global warming.
This positive effect will ultimately depend on if we have a shared autonomous vehicle revolution, which will significantly reduce the amount of vehicles on the road.
It is difficult to give a definitive answer as to whether autonomous vehicles will be positive or negative for sustainable development from a social perspective. Autonomous vehicles will lead to increased accessibility and safety, but also lead to negatives such as the moral dilemma, to job losses that are created, and the question as to who will be held accountable for injuries or deaths.
Many of the benefits we spoke about are under the assumption that all vehicles on the road are autonomous vehicles. It must be all or nothing. If this isn't the case, then human error will still be a part of the equation, and therefore autonomous vehicles will not be as safe as people portray them to be.
I think from a macroeconomic perspective and from the view of cities, autonomous cars will benefit communities. This will lead to denser habitats that are better at fostering the characteristics that are needed for economic agents to work at their best. This view is based on the idea that 20th century hyperconsumption is replaced with 21st century collaborative consumption. The ability to share autonomous vehicles is very important for this view to hold.
From a microeconomic perspective, it is difficult to say whether economic sustainability will be improved. For different individuals and different firms, there can be vastly different impacts.
Of course, there is so much more that we could have discussed or debated. If you had any thoughts or questions, leave them in the comment section below, and we'd love to hear your opinions.
We would also like to say a huge thank you to the Warwick Global Sustainable Development Department,
Our project supervisor Jessica Savage and the other members of staff that have helped to make this project possible.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.